Life is no stranger to darkness. In fact, it has made its home here, and we are guests in its house. But in recent history, something has slowly emerged, something of a far more dark, far more grotesque nature, and now it has enveloped the world and changed our understanding of how deep the darkness can go, as it magnifies and mutates life's darkness into something so terrible that even life cannot recognize it. Darkness is obscure by nature, as the darkness that exists today remains obscure to the masses, where only those who can shine a mental light on the situation see what is hiding, see what is plotting. What is this great darkness, this great conspiracy whose crimes are greater than all other crimes? Society. Society is the greatest scheme the world has ever known. The more you shine your mental light upon it, the more society is revealed as a sinister scheme, a desecration against your soul, nature, and the world, where one man makes a feast of another's famine, where one man can become rich through the poverty of others, where one's suffering is another's pleasure. The foundation and equilibrium of the modern world relies upon the mistreatment of each other. You have made money your god, from which you obey and put its importance higher than all other things, the cause of all imbalance in the world. You complain that things are not fair, when the worship and pursuit of money is the cause of your unsuitable and unfair condition, as money only creates inequality. So why have you made money your idol, when its authority is harmful to yourself and all of life, where people gladly disrupt the balance of the world for their personal gain? Why have we become so disconnected from life to where we give no hesitation to dispose of it, trample over it, sell it? Where did we go wrong? When we left nature, when we decided in our ignorance that nature was not a good enough parent, so we decided to rule over it. That is when the error of man began, because most of mankind is not intelligent enough to consciously direct their own life into accordance with balance, and life exists exclusively because of balance, and that's why nature did it for him. But now, leaving nature, life's balance and eternity is failing because of our stupidity, because we uprooted ourselves from nature. Man has abandoned nature and the use of many of his senses, where he has forgotten how to feel, and now lives in an artificial substitute, where he sucks life through a straw and calls it living. Life was once an awe-inspiring experience, full of wonder, freedom, adventure, danger, and mystery. But now we have made life mundane, cold, and gray, from which many have lost their spark and desire for life. You do not realize what has been taken away from you, what rich experience of life we used to have. You must come to realize we need nature desperately, but we do not need society. Society is not for your benefit. Nothing given or offered to you is ultimately for your benefit. People do not act to benefit others. They act in anticipation of profit, and that mindset sets the tone for the modern world: greed and selfishness. And we wonder why things are the way they are, when everybody does things for money and not each other. In the past, our lives revolved around experience. Now it revolves around profit. And we wonder why we are so famished of life, because the chase for profit leads ultimately to unfulfillment. Money is not the answer. We can see how it leaves open the potential for corruption and inequality. You think money sets you free, and while it frees your body from earthly chores and necessities, it imprisons your soul. Those who choose money as their priority in life sink to the depths. Those who choose spirit rise to the heavens. He who is rich is poor. He who has nothing has everything. You may believe money sets you free, but it is a trap. You may believe you live in the land of the free, but that is only false advertising. For those who take off their rosy-colored glasses, you will see that we are the least free we have ever been. You are forced into providing services to others and given no other alternative, yet you believe yourself free? The whole basis of society is that in order to live, you have to serve. There's a word for such a condition, and it's called slavery. Slavery has not gone away. It exists in a degree far greater than ever. It's just that it is a secret enslavement, only revealed to those who become conscious, to those who become aware. But keeping you in darkness is exactly the plan. That's how power and obedience is maintained. Intelligence is simply awareness. Therefore, the weapon of darkness is distraction, to keep you from using your mental light. If the masses grew aware of the great sham that is society, no one would serve it, a great threat to its power. And so entertainment is at the forefront of values in this society, as society gladly pours money into the hands of those that provide it. People are unhappy, lost, burnt out, used and abused, but still serve that which harms them. If a stranger came up to you and told you to take off your jacket because they don't like it, you would fight with words or fists. This concept isn't hard to understand, because you have the innate right to do what you want. Yet, when you are told what to do every day of your life by society, you give no thought to it and accept it without any resistance, without ever questioning it. This is the great error of the age, that people do not realize they are enslaved. You believe you are free, but your feet are directed by another. What you must come to realize is society is not your friend. You serve it only because it provides you basic needs, after it has made itself the only source of it. But it's not about basic needs anymore. It has created an environment that requires or influences you to need many things that you previously didn't, financial burdens and attachments. And so you live your life, paying for a life that is a fraction of a life we used to have. Besides, these luxuries and conveniences that we pay for only pamper us and make us soft, rotten, spoiled, and subject to complaint. Resistance is good for us. It hardens us, as nature implemented when we were under its rule. Society has taken us from balance, away from the conditioning of nature. We have gone out of bounds now, out of the intended parameters of life that nature kept us in, and we and the world now suffer because of it. Man becomes perverted without the parameters of nature, because nature preserved balance in those that lived under its rule. It conditioned and developed the mind and body in a beneficial way. But society perverts man with its extremes, its nonsense, its noxious environment. Society is the antagonist of us all, the enemy of us all. Once people realize this, can we make life better for us and the world? Return to the past. You don't have to rebel and sacrifice yourself to a great war. You simply stop serving and participating in society. Just take off your chains that have been placed on your feet. You have the key. We have the key. That key is unification. Together, we can form communities that sustain and nurture one another, something we desperately need in our isolation, all while remaining rooted with nature, a necessity for our sanity, well-being, and spirituality. Because spirituality is about maintaining congruence with spirit, but society distracts us and takes us away from it too often, and puts us in conditions where we lose our peace, our gratitude, our happiness, and meaning, where neurosis takes over, where we are subject to being endlessly tossed against the rocks by the current and stormy tides of society. Modern society is now a testament to your spiritual endurance, a tug of war between spirit and society, because each demand from you a very different life and mindset. But this is what it comes down to. You cannot call yourself spiritual if you are not counter to culture, because culture's values oppose those of spirituality. If you have anything to do with spirit, then you should naturally hate society. Society is run by evil, because they believe in inequality. They believe in slavery, that they can make a life better by making many lives worse. Good should not serve such an idea, otherwise they too become evil, feeding it. Stop feeding this monster. Stop living this lie. I do not promise that this transition back to the past is going to be pretty, but I do promise that our current and future condition is a far worse choice. But do not be inspired and act alone. Only together can we escape this prison. Only together can we stop the great error of this age. You have been taught complacency. You have been civilized, and order and law has been put into effect, all to keep you in check, all to protect power. But this order is no good if it serves a corrupted idea, and so we must relieve ourselves of this disorder and return to the ways of old, return to nature, and return to each other, where we will know and live in balance, community, and simplicity once again. Stop participating in society, or continue to serve it to your detriment. Choose to fight. Choose what is right. Choose the light, and unite against the great scheme that is society.